ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Sura Al-e Imran, verse 46. وَيُكَلِّمُ النَّاسَ فِي الْمَهْدِ وَكَهْلًا. It talks about Nabi Isa alayhi salam. He speaks with people in the cradle and in adulthood. For a child in the cradle, when we say in the cradle, it means a newborn baby up to the age of 2 years. So the ability of speaking is not an extraordinary fact for a child of 2 years. But what is extraordinary here is that he speaks with people a normal conversation. يُكَلِّمُ النَّاسِ, the way a grown-up speaks to others. So this is something miraculous. Adding to that if a newborn child speaks even simple words, that's also extraordinary and miraculous. And we know, according to the Surah Maryam, that Nabi Isa alayhi salam started talking when he was very, very small, when Maryam salamullah alayha brought him to the city. وَكَهْلًا. Kahl refers to a stage of age between childhood and the old age. So it is before the old age. Allama says that this phrase implies that Nabi Isa alayhi salam will not reach the old age, as it said kahlan, not shaykhan. Okay, shaykh is the old age. ويكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا ومن الصالحين. قالت رب أنى يكون لي ولد ولم يمسسني بشر. Now Maryam salamullah alayha asked God, how is it possible for me to give birth to a child, because she had not gotten married. And قال كذلك الله يخلق ما يشاء إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. This conversation is between God and Maryam salamullah alayha. But according to Surah Maryam, this conversation took place between Maryam and Ar-Ruh. أرسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا. So Ruh spoke to Maryam, and this conversation is not between God and Maryam, it's between Ruh and Maryam. So how to solve this problem? Allama Tabatabai says that they are not extraordinary, they're not contradictory, because that Ruh was sent by God, and when he brings a message from God, it is as if God is directly talking to the person. The next ayah, وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَالتَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. God teaches Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, the book, wisdom, Tawrat and Injil. Tawrat and Injil are instances of Kitab and Hikmah. So both are instances of Al-Kitab. Kitab is the book. And this book has instances including Torah, including Al-Injil, and Torah and Injil also can be instances of Al-Hikmah at the same time. Allama Tabatabai under this ayah gives some explanation about Torah and Injil, especially about Injil. It says, according to Quran, we understand that Injil, Gospel, was revealed by God to Isa alayhi salam, not something written after Isa, as the Christians today say. And they have different Gospels. 4 of them are the most well-known. So they are written by some people after Isa, according to the Christians. But the definition of Injil in the Quran is different. Did Injil contain laws, Sharia, or not? Allama says that Quranic verses shows that Torah contained laws, divine laws, and Injil abrogated some of them, and we will explain about this abrogation in the coming verses. But it seems that Injil itself also contains some laws, according to the ayah وَأَنَحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ. in Surah Ma'idah when it talks about Torah and then about Injil. So it shows that there are some rulings, some laws in Injil according to which a judgment can be done. Let's continue. وَرَسُولًا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ أَنِّي قَدْ جِئْتُكُمْ بِآيَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Rasulan, messenger to Bani Israel, Israelites. So Isa alayhi salam has been sent by God as a messenger to Israelites. But a question arises here. Isa alayhi salam is one of Ulul Azm prophets, and their message was universal, not for a specific group of people. So how this ayah says Ila Bani Israel, while we know that Jesus was sent to all human? Allama says that the answer can be the difference between Nabi and Rasul. Nabi is the one who delivers a message from God, who conveys and communicates divine revelation to people. But Rasul, messenger, has a more specific responsibility toward people or a group of people. So if a person is sent as a messenger and Rasul to a nation, then their fate, the fate of that nation, is tied to that messenger. If they accept his message and if they follow him, they will receive divine mercy. فإذا جاء رسولهم قضي بين ولكل أمة رسول فإذا جاء رسولهم قضي بينهم القسط وهم لا يظلمون. And if they reject and disobey, then divine punishment will be sent down to them. So it shows a more stronger, connection between the fate of those people, that nation, and the prophet. So Nabi Isa alayhi salam can be a prophet for all human and a messenger to Israelites and Bani Israel. And it doesn't mean that the other people, they have nothing to do with that prophet. No, they also are addressed by that prophet. As Musa alayhi salam, he was sent to Bani Israel as a Rasul, but at the same time he brought a message to Fir'aun. Fir'aun was not from Bani Israel. Or the magicians, the Sahara, they were not from Israelites as well, but they received the message from Musa alayhi salam and they followed him. وَرَسُولًا إِلَّا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ أَنِّي قَدْ جِئْتُكُمْ بِآيَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. I brought you a sign from my Lord. أَنِّي أَخْلُقُ لَكُم مِّنَ الطِّينِ. Now the miracles of Isa alayhi salam are enumerated here in this ayah. The first is to create a form of a bird, the form of a bird out of clay, and then to breathe into it and give life to it. So that was the first miracle. Then the ayah continues and other miracles are mentioned. Some thinkers, they doubt the occurrence of this miracle. They say probably Isa alayhi salam just expressed that I am able to do these miracles, and he didn't say that I did it. Say, if you want, I can do it, but it doesn't report whether it was done or not. It just shows the ability of Isa alayhi salam to perform them. But Allama says what apparently can be understood from the ayah is that there were the miracles which were performed by Isa alayhi salam. And the ayah in Surah Al-Ma'idah, it shows clear that these signs and these miracles took place, actually took place. واذكر نعمتي عليك وعلى والدتك. Then it continues and it reminds Isa alayhi salam what happened in the past. Then it mentions that you did this, you did that, including this miracle. أخلق لكم من الطين كهيئة الطير فأنفخ فيه فيكون طيرا بإذن الله. And then وأبرئ الأكمه والأبرص وأحيي الموتى. The other miracles of Isa alayhi salam to heal the blind, akmah. Akmah literally means the person whose eyes are blotted, so nothing has been left in his face. But then other usages of the word shows that it was also used for a person who becomes blind. So akmah can be used for the blind person. وأبرئ الأكمة, so I healed the blind. And والأبرص, the person infected with leprosy, lepers. وأحيي الموتى, and I give life to the dead, I bring the dead back to life. بإذن الله, with Allah's leave. So nothing is done with me independently. Whatever I do is by His idhn, by His leave. The previous miracle also, creating a bird from clay, that was also followed by the phrase بإذن الله. But the next miracle, وأنبئكم بما تأكلون وما تدخرون, informing people of what they store in their houses, what they eat. So that is sort of, knowledge of the unseen. This one is not followed by bi'idhnillah. Though I know every miracle of Isa was by Allah's leave. Not only his miracles, his normal acts and our acts, they all are by Allah's leave. But because the first 2-3 miracles were very much extraordinary, and they were not done by any other person, contrary to the last one, because the last one was something that people had seen, some people who could give the news of hidden things, like the ascetics, like the some people soothsayers. So they knew some people who could tell them something that was not known to other people. But so that was not as miraculous as the first ones. The first ones, they were very much special. Because of that, there was danger of misguidance of people, that some people may think that this person is a god. That is why it must be emphasized that all these miracles, they take place with Allah's leave. إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين ومصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة. It continues explaining about Isa. Isa alayhi salam, indeed, he's introducing himself. ومصدقا, I am confirming what is before me, that is Torah. So Isa alayhi salam confirmed the book revealed to Musa alayhi salam, Torah, but with an addition, وَلِأُحِلَّ لَكُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي حُرِّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ, and to permit some of what was forbidden to you. So there were some things forbidden to Israelites, and now Isa alayhi salam is lifting the ban. What prohibitions are meant here? Other verses in the Quran helps us understand what is meant by حرم عليكم. We have in Surah Nisa, فَبِظُلْمٍ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ هَادُوا حَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ طَيِّبَاتٍ أُحِلَّتْ لَهُمْ. That some of the طيبات, pure things, which were good, they were not impure, but they were prohibited to Israelites because of their wrongdoing, because of their dhulm. So they had committed some sins, and Allah punished them by prohibiting something which was tayyib. Now those prohibitions are lifted by Isa alayhi salam, and this is a case of abrogation. وَجِئْتُكُمْ بِآيَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوا. Allah is my Lord and your Lord. فَاعْبُدُوا هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. This ayah is to emphasize that Isa alayhi salam is a servant of God, and to leave no excuse for those who believe in his divinity. فَلَمَّا أَحَسَّ عِيسَى مِنْهُمُ الْكُفْرَ قَالَ مَنْ أَنصَارِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. This ayah says that when Isa sensed faithlessness from them, it means from Israelites, Bani Israel, because home returns to Bani Israel. So he was addressing Bani Israel, calling them to this divine message, but he realized that, and it shows that they showed some disagreement and rejection of his message. Now, what did he do? He decided to form a team, a central team to promote the message. Now that people, all of them or majority of them, are not ready to accept, so I need to form a group. قال من أنصاري إلى الله? Who are my helpers toward Allah? Ansar is the plural of Nasir. It comes from Nasara Yansuru, means help and support. But Nasara in Arabic does not come with Ila. Nasarahu, helped him, but not Ila, toward, because Nas doesn't need the word Ila. Ila here shows that the meaning of another verb is inserted into the verb Nasara. So it means that who helps me, supports me, proceeding, going toward Allah. So this is a way toward Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, and who helps me in this way. قال الحواريون. حواريون is the disciples of Jesus. They said نحن أنصار الله. We are the helpers of Allah. آمنا بالله واشهد بأننا مسلمون. So they expressed their faith. Tafsir al-Mizan says that another verse in Surah Ma'idah, verse 111, وَإِذْ أَوْحَيْتُ إِلَى الْحَوَارِيِّينَ أَنْ آمِنُوا بِي وَبِرَسُولِي. God says, when I revealed to the disciples, when I did wahy to the disciples that believe in me and my prophet. So it shows that they received wahy. So they were the disciples themselves, they were prophets receiving wahy from Allah. And through that wahy, they got the instruction to believe in Jesus. So it shows this belief, this iman, this faith is higher than the normal faith that people have. So they originally believed in Jesus, and that was the basic level of iman and faith that they had in Jesus. And then after that, through an instruction and wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they went to a higher level of iman and faith. So that is iman ba'd al-iman. Now that they say amanna billah, this iman is higher than the basic iman. واشهد بأننا مسلمون. ربنا آمنا بما أنزلت واتبعنا الرسول. Now they talk to God and they express their faith in what God has revealed and following and obeying the Prophet. فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين. Write us among the witnesses. Witnesses of what? Witness to they bear witness to what? According to al-Mizan, to this fact that Isa alayhi salam delivered the message. So we will bear witness, we testify that your messenger did his job. And this is in line with a verse in Surah Al-A'raf. وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. In the day of judgment, we will ask both the messengers and the people to whom the messenger was sent. So now, Hawariyin, disciples, are the people to whom the messenger was sent. They testify that the messenger did his job. And there is another possibility that by shahideen is meant those people who witness the deeds of all people, the a'mal, because in the day of judgment we have some witnesses who now that we are doing our acts, there are some who see our acts, Allah, the angels, and some close servants of Allah. So it may mean, this ayah may mean uktubna ma'a shahidin, include us in that group. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. Again, it returns to Israelites. They did not believe in Jesus, and they planned and plotted against him. Makaru, makr. They did makr, means planning against someone. وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ. God also countered their plan. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. The word makir, the person who plots something against another person, is used for Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, but it was explained before in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allama Tabatabai refers to that ayah and does not explain here anymore. إذ قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي. When God told Jesus, إني متوفيك, do tawaffi. What does tawaffi means? Tawaffi means to take something completely, fully. This is the meaning of tawaffi. Normally we translate tawaffi as death, because his soul is taken by Allah or by the angel of death. So does it mean that this ayah shows Isa died? No, because tawaffi does not mean death. Even in the Quran, the concept of death is very frequently mentioned with the word mata yamutu. Wassalamu alayhi yamu wulidtu wa yawma amutu. So maut is the word used for death. أفإن مت أفإن مات أو قتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم. Is he talking about the death of the Prophet, the death of many people? So yamutun, we have these verbs in the Quran. But sometimes tawaffi is used, and in those cases, when you study the context of the verse, you see that there was a special emphasis on this fact that by death you will not be annihilated. So to emphasize that you will be received by Allah, by the angel of death. Don't think that you will be lost. So because people have in mind, they have this impression, those who have materialistic mindset, they have this impression that by death we will perish, nothing will remain. So those verses in the Quran which addressed this matter, and they wanted to elaborate on this fact that you will not be lost, in those verses the word tawaffi was used. For example, وَقَالُوا أَإِذَا ضَلَلْنَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, when we were lost in the earth, then we shall come back again. Then قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ in Surah Sajda. See, in answer to that doubt, God says يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ. So the word tawaffi is used with this concern. Or for example, even for sleeping, tawaffi is used. Allah yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawta, God takes the soul or the selves at the moment of death. وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ فِي مَنَامِهَا, and those who have not died when they sleep. So if the word tawaffi is used for that. So it shows tawaffi is not for death. And we have another verse in Surah Nisa which clearly says that they thought people was crucified and he was killed, but he was not killed. إِنِّي مُتَوَفِّيكَ وَرَافِعُكَ إِلَيَّ, I will raise you إِلَيَّ, toward myself. So إِلَيَّ, the direction toward Allah, shows that this raising and elevating is spiritual, it's not material, because God has no place. So it shows that this elevation is a spiritual elevation. وَمُطَهِّرُكَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, I will purify you from the non-believers. وَجَعَلُوا الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوكَ فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, I will make those who follow you above those who disbelieve, or those who don't believe in you, till the day of judgment. So it talks about this world. This is not about the day of judgment. إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, until the day of judgment. So in this world, the followers of Isa must be in a higher position than الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. So what does it mean? Some say that it means الَّذِينَ تَبَعُوكَ, those who follow you truthfully. So who are the truthful, the right followers of Jesus? Those who believed in him in his time, those who embraced Christianity at the time of Jesus, and after him until the emergence of the religion of Islam, because Islam abrogated, and then if a person is a true follower of Isa alayhi salam, now he must follow Muhammad and Isa together, right? So according to some thinkers, الَّذِينَ تَبَعُوكَ means the Christians in the time of Jesus, and after that time up to the age of Islam, and then from the age of Islam, the Muslims. If that is the meaning of اتَّبَعُوكَ, then how we should interpret فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, above the non-believers? We know that the number of those Christians, I mean, before the age of Islam and Muslims, totally does not reach the number of non-believers in the world. So this cannot be the meaning of the ayah. And even in the time of the Prophet, when the ayah was revealed, also that was the case. Or they didn't have the upper hand in terms of, governments and political power. So those thinkers, they suggest that fawq means their argument, their proof for their truthfulness is stronger, better, higher. Allama Tabatabai disagrees with this interpretation. He says, ayah shows that it is something that will happen in the future. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is telling Jesus that I will do this. Okay, I will elevate you, I will raise you, I will. So that precedence of the arguments of the believers over the argument of disbelievers is not subject to time. It is permanent. That is a categorical truth. And in the time of Jesus, before even that issue, it was like that. I mean, his argument was higher and stronger than the argument of disbelievers. It was not something to happen in the future. Allama Tabatabai suggests that جَعَلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوكَ may refer to all Christians. Although the Christians after the age of Islam, they are not considered as, according to theological discussions, they were not considered as true followers of Jesus from Islamic perspective. They are not now true followers of Jesus, but because they are the continuation of the first generation of Christians. So we can consider all Christians one community. And we know that the first generations, their behavior and their act was totally correct and true. So this act can be attributed to the whole community. We had similar cases for Israelites. Some sins were done by the first generations, but it was attributed to Israelites in general. So some good things may have been done by the first generations of Christians, but that act can be attributed to them all. And وَجَعَلَ الَّذِينَ تَبَعُوكَ فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, over those who disbelieved in Jesus. That was the Israelites, the Jews, who did not believe in Jesus. And God says, I will make those Christians above you and higher than you in terms of the mercies that I will show to them and the punishment that I will inflict on you. Because the Jews, they had many problems in their social life, and that those worldly punishments, adab dunya, worldly punishments for what they did, which was not directed toward Christians. Or we can consider الَّذِينَ تَبَعُوكَ, both Christians and Muslims, but not Christians only before Islam. No, Christians till now and afterwards. So all Christians and all Muslims together, because Muslims also are the followers of Jesus. That is also a second possibility, which is finally preferred by Allama Tabatabai. ثُمَّ إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ, then all people will go to Allah and He will decide between them. فأما الذين كفروا فأعذبهم عذابا شديدا في الدنيا والآخرة وما لهم من ناصرين. Those who disbelieved in Jesus, God says, I will punish them in this world, in hereafter. وأما الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فيوفيهم أجورهم. Those who believed and did the right acts, the good acts, فيوفيهم أجورهم, God will give them in full their rewards. Here, instead of saying وأما الذين اتبعوه, instead of saying those who followed Jesus, الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. Allah says that here Allah wants to make this reward specific to those who have faith and right act, good acts. Not anyone who is a member of that community which follows Jesus. Yes, Regarding the other matter, that was فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, that was general. It covered all Christians. But this one is particular to those who truthfully followed Jesus. ذَلِكَ نَتْلُوهُ عَلَيْكَ مِنَ الْآيَاتِ وَالذِّكْرِ الْحَكِيمِ. So this ayah that we recite to you from the verses shows that this is the end of the story of Jesus here in Surah Al-Imran. Al-Dhikr al-Hakim. Hakim means something which is firm, with no possibility of error, of mistake. إِنَّ مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ آدَمَ. After giving an account of Isa, Jesus' life, now God addresses that matter of debate between Muslims and Christians, that they believed in his divinity. It says, Inna mathala Isa, the example of Isa is like the example of Adam alayhi salam. Khalaqahu min turab. Two arguments are presented. Khalaqahu, first, he was created. So a created one cannot be a god. Khalaqahu min turab, and he was created from clay. Not from, he didn't have father. And Adam alayhi salam also had no father. So if this makes a person divine, Adam also must be considered divine. ثم قال له كن فيكون. الحق من ربك. This is to confirm the previous argument and to assure the Prophet and about the argument. فلا تكن من الممترين. Don't be from the doubters. فمن حاجك فيه. Now that you presented this argument, whoever argues with you فيه, about it, about what? About Jesus, or about al-haq, about the truth, the haq in the previous verse. So whoever argues with you about this, من بعد ما جاءك من العلم, after what came to you from knowledge, that was this argument. The argument was a piece of knowledge that reached you. So after this, whoever argues with you, now, okay, now is the argument. I mean, now we are not going to argue more, because that argument was very manifest. So now is the time to do mubahala. فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ. Now let's call our children, our women, ourselves. ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ. Then فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. Then we do mubahala. We call Allah's curse upon the liars. So let's see who is right, who is wrong. If you are sure, if you are certain that you are on the right path, so you must be ready to come to mubahala. And history shows us that the mubahala did not take place. They first said, yes, we do mubahala, but then when they saw Prophet Imam Ali alayhi salam, Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha, and Imam Hassan alayhi salam ready for mubahala, they retreated and they were not ready anymore to do mubahala. This ayat says abna, but it was only two sons. Abna is plural. Nisa, it was only one woman, but Nisa is plural. And Anfus, according to riwayat, now Anfus here means Ali alayhi salam. So it's the Prophet and Ali. Okay, so Ali alayhi salam also was was in the group of mubahala, and the word Anfus refers to him. So why plural is used while singular or dual are meant by these these words? Allah Ta'ala says the two matters must be distinguished and separated. One is the meaning of the verse, the other one is the instance of the title. So the title has a meaning, but the instance in maybe, for example, one, while the concept is general. And this is not the only example in the Quran. We have many other examples in the Quran where a plural term is used because it talks about the general fact. For example, there is an ayah, الَّذِينَ يُظَاهِرُونَ مِنْكُمْ مِنْ نِسَائِهِمْ, those who do dhihar. But when you read the occasion of revelation of this ayah, you find that there was one person among Muslims who did dhihar. But ayah says, الَّذِينَ, those who do this. Or يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يَنْفِقُونَ, they ask you what to give charity, what to spend, what to give charity. So it was one person who asked the Prophet. But the matter is general. Here also the matter is general. God says that let's bring our team and you bring your team. We bring our women, our children, ourselves. Now the instance may be 1, 2. So the concept is general, but the instance may be 1. And there are too many ahadith narrated in the Shia and Sunni collections of hadith about the revelation of this verse about the Khamsa of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.